Good afternoon, everyone. Yoni Katz, Rabbi Manis Ruin's biggest fan, back at it. I've been wanting to make this video for a while because it focuses on one word that definitely needs some clarification. So I want to cut to a clip of Rabbi Ephraim Goldberg asking Rabbi Yossi Jacobson the question of, does Hashem need our mitzvahs? And I wanted to point out one word that desperately needs this clarification. I'll bring some sources, I'll bring some other videos, and we'll get to the bottom of the meaning of this one word, which can throw everybody off. And here we go.
Understood. Okay, I got one more question. Rabbi, thank you for joining us today. It really means the world to me, means the world to us. I got one more question, and it's not maybe just a short answer. Now is not the time, and we're grateful for your time, and it's late to develop it further another time. So my Chabad Chevra here in BRS in Boca, we've been having a back and forth about the notion of, does Hashem have needs?
But right off the bat, isn't that great? The Chabad Chevra in Boca Raton Synagogue, they have a minyan upstairs, which I myself davened out for many years. And they're talking about God and mitzvahs and chassidus and back and forth. You can sense the passion and the intensity and the arguing. Allah, this is what it's all about, getting to the bottom of it. And what is more important to be discussed?
Hashem needs us to do X, Y, and Z. Hashem needs. And I always say kiviyachol, meaning it's an anthropomorphism, just like Hashem gets angry, and just like Hashem has an outstretched arm, and just like Hashem, Imru Lefanei Malchus, Kadesh Tam Lichuni Aleichem, he can't be a melech without our being mamlechim, otherwise he's a moshel. So kiviyachol, he also needs us to be his shlichim, he needs us to, and they say, no, you don't begin to understand. No, we're the nimshal, he's the ma, whatever they start to explain to me, I don't know anything, and I should ask you.
There it was, the word kaviyachol. Kaviyachol seems to apply at face value as if it were so, meaning anytime you relate to God, like the rabbi is saying, ultimately God is above our understanding and above us relating to him. So what is this word kaviyachol? And you see it often. And I wanted to cut to a clip of the Rebbe using that exact word in the Gem video named Marching Orders, where the Rebbe by Machane Yisrael is having a meeting, obviously with the Yid. Check this out. Here we go, right to this cut.
Or bring these two preciousnesses together.
When a Jew does a mitzvah for Hashem in this world, he does a mitzvah, he does a favor for God, kaviyachol. That every mitzvah he does is a gift to God. So when the Rebbe says kaviyachol, what is he trying to say? It's not really a gift, it's so to speak, because ultimately God's above mitzvahs, above Jews, above Torah. Was the Rebbe trying to downgrade it, downplay it? It's just like this disclaimer because ultimately nothing affects him? Or is it the exact opposite? For that, we'll go to a source from the Rebbe himself. As you can see here, I'll read from the top. Umi der Baal Shem Tov unterstreicht. And like the Baal Shem Tov emphasized, as die Liebschaft in die Verbundenheit von dem Eibischen mit jeder Yidin, the connection that Hashem has with every Jew in Vasfar Zustand, there's only Zayin in Yiddishkeit under another Zachen, no matter where he's holding in his Yiddishkeit or other things, is das wie die Liebschaft und die Verbundenheit von Ben Yachid. This is geboren by Elter mentioned. It's like an only child. This connection is like an only child that this person has, being born, an only child being born to parents in their old age. And it was born to them after many years in their old age. And they waited him and they anticipated him for many years. And so is the love, so to speak. So the Rebbe says we use the word kaviyachol to tell you that there's no stronger language, so we have to say kaviyachol, you have to imagine it's much stronger. But when we say love, it doesn't do justice. So the kaviyachol is not trying to say that, not really, it's downgrading. It's we have no stronger words to use because it's really much more. Ki'ilu as das die ganze Liebschaft von dem Eberschen zu Yidden, as if this brings out the entire love that Hashem has to the Yidden. Aber be'emes is das noch starker. It's really much stronger. Biz an an Eufen von Einarch in such a way that you can't even imagine. You can't even estimate. Which is the same thing with the word needs. People get upset. Oh, he can't say he needs, he wants. And what's the difference between the word wants and needs? Like, you can say Hashem wants it, he doesn't need it. Hashem wants things he doesn't need, needs things he doesn't want. Even for a 10-year-old child, that's embarrassing. He shouldn't want what he doesn't need and need what he doesn't want. Obviously, God is after something. Use the word need, use the word need, desires, wants. It's all the same. He wants a dir b'tachtonim. He doesn't have it. He's after something. Wants, need, it's all the same. And for sure, God doesn't want what he doesn't need and need what he doesn't want. And that's what the Rebbe is trying to say to this fellow in the Machne Yisrael, is that every mitzvah is a gift to God. Don't think of it like a physical gift. So that's why he has to say the word kaviyachol, because when I say gift, you're thinking like a physical gift that you get somebody for a celebration. It's much stronger. And the same thing when we say, does Hashem need your mitzvahs? The answer is, you can't imagine how much he needs it. Needs doesn't do justice. You're thinking human needs like sleep and air and existence, handicap types of needs. It's much stronger. That's what the word kaviyachol is trying to imply. And that's what, in a recent video, which I'm going to add to the screen right now, that I did with Rabbi Friedman, you'll see the same thing.
So the part
the last sentence that I asked him here
happens to like the low.
And the word kaviyachol, that every time it mentions kaviyachol, I know this is important for the viewers.
The word kaviyachol means it's much more than you think, not less. Kaviyachol doesn't mean not really.
Right. It means much more.
It means much more. As if there's a comparison.
So you see right there, kaviyachol means much more. So when the word need doesn't do justice, the word want doesn't do justice, the word desire, because we're thinking in human terms, like my need for food or sleep or whatever it is. So the strongest word, and it shows that it's the strongest word because people don't want to use it, because it makes it sound urgent, because it's showing on God's part how desperately he's involved and he's invested and how necessary it is. But it's really much stronger than even the word need. So that's what the word kaviyachol always comes to imply. And you see this, especially because Lag BaOmer is quickly approaching. You see this in a Lag BaOmer rally, Lag BaOmer parade, and from the Rebbe's words, hear God's desperation and God's vulnerability in Galus as we know it.
As nie der Pshat chas v'sholem, as a Yid gefindt sich in Golus, und der Rebischter gefindt sich in sein Palace in de Himmel, und guckt zu, von eben, was tut sich mit der Jiden unten, und geht dem Braches, sagt Pshimen Beichoi, nie das in der Ruftu. Der Ruftu ist, der Rebischter gefindt sich, und dort, wo gefindt sich jeder Ried. Und Bishas Ayid gefindt sich in Golus, ich China im Moher. Gefindt sich dort der Rebischter zusammen mit ihm in dem Golus. Kniet gefindt sich dort, wie seitiger Inyan, nur gefindt sich dort in der Nefen, was beholt zur Rossum. Leid Zor, Bishas Ayiden wird eng, nachmas der Mine von Golus. Zieht es wer der Einkeit in Ruchnis oder a viele Begashmius, ist auch demels sagt der Rebischter, als hat dieselbe Leiden, mit derselbe Schwerkeit, mit derselbe Einkeit, wo das ist so Rossom von Akiden, Begolus, was für a Golus es soll nicht sein, zieht das Eden, oder wie der Rest der Golus in Bovel, ist beholt zur Ross und Leid Zor, wo der Funde doch verstandig, auf wie viel man hat es Jura, der Hilfe von den Nebesten, A Fieber kommen de alle Schwierigkeiten, wurden der Rebischter hat sich qua Jochla reingestellt.
There it is, the word again, kaviyachol.
Als hat dieselbe Schwierigkeiten und war fahre doch verstandig die Stadlus von dem Rebischten, a die Gejule soll kommen, was für ihr. Sie darf aber sein, bechol zur Rossom Leitzor, a das soll eng machen, echet a Jiden, als soll schreien ad Mosai, wenn sie kommen die Gejule, und der Rebischte wird a Reis von Golus, und mitnehmen mit sich, und alle Jiden werden a Reis von Golus.
And God is in Galus. And is there any inference there that the Rebbe is trying to say that this is all kaviyachol, God's in exile, he's with you in his pain, but he's not really with you in your pain. It's all, so to speak, it's the exact opposite. If you're in pain, God is in much more pain. Your pain is ultimately felt by a human, but God is with you in your pain. He feels it infinitely, feels it much more. So therefore, this word needs to be clarified. Kaviyachol is trying to tell you it's much more urgent, much more important. So does God need us? Does God need our mitzvahs? It's infinitely much more. We can't even imagine how much he needs us, how much he needs the mitzvah. This is essential. This is not, once he chose, now he needs. Once he chose, everyone says that. There's no time. Once he chose, now you're talking about God, he's above time. And this is what Lag BaOmer is all about. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, like it says in the Zohar, Yisrael, Ayraisa v'Kutsha Brichu Kulachad. God, the Torah, and the mitzvah are one. You're talking about God's very essence.